Hey guys, fishing and stuff. Today, I'm gonna show you two different ways to make a sinker mold. So, stick around. Today, we're making two different DIY sinker molds because I like saving money. And speaking of saving some money, if you hadn't checked out my channel page, go over and check it out. I got a long list of DIYs that'll help you save money. And if you find something you like, click subscribe and click the bell so that YouTube notify you when I post videos and you can watch them. Pouring your own sinkers is one of the best, most effective ways to save money fishing because recycled lead is free a lot of times, or you can find it at scrap yards for $1 or less a pound. So making your own sinkers is a good way to save money. And you don't have to use lead for sinkers. You can use steel. They use tungsten now. I've even seen people make sinkers out of rocks, which ain't a bad idea. But the thing is, if you have a steel sinker and you have a lead sinker, that steel sinker's gotta be 4 times the size of the lead one to equal the same amount of weight. So lead's always gonna be an effective way to make sinkers. And I always remember, when working with lead, I always wear a respirator or have good ventilation. But we've wasted enough time talking about it. Let's get into making these sinkers. I got some step bits that I bought from Harbor Freight. They sell the Hercules brand. They sell a couple of different brands actually. This is one of their cheaper ones and I've used it a lot and it works pretty good. But I wanted something that flared out a little bit wider since I'm making a weight out of it. Now I'm gonna use an aluminum block and this block's like 1.5 inches thick. But after I try this one, I'm gonna try it in a different type of material, maybe wood, just to see how it turns out. Pyramid sinkers have been around a long time. People use them at the ocean, but you can use them catfishing or bank fishing. You can use them for a lot of different things. You can kind of put this beside of it and see that if I made one out of this, it'd probably be about 3 ounces. I'm gonna use the big one, and I think it's gonna be an interesting looking weight if it works out right. First thing we're gonna need to do is drill a hole in our aluminum block. And I'm going to drill a little pilot hole. It probably needs to be about the size of the end of this drill bit. I'm sure this will do it by itself. I'm just thinking it may go in straighter if it's got a pilot hole drilled in it. Alright, so I had these earth magnets, I think they call them, and I super glued them onto my mold. And the reason I wanted magnets on it, these little rings right here is what you use to make sinkers. They're the little loop on the end on your sinker, but I need something to hold it. So I got a little piece of steel, and you put one of these on it. And when you set it down, the magnet will hold it still for you. That's just the idea, I hope it works. And I think I got the height about right. So now we need to experiment and pour one and see how it turns out. I haven't made a ton of sinker molds, but I did make this one on another video. Go check it out. And this little rod runs through it, which leaves a hole in your sinker. And you can put an eye bolt in it if you want to make it like a traditional no-roll sinker, or you can run your line through it. But I learned a few things when I was doing that one. Like some of you guys that do it a lot was telling me, set my mold on my pot while the lead's heating up, so it'll heat my mold up and it'll pour better. So I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna use a torch. Brought my lead bucket over here and I gotta pick out some lead to put in it. I had a bucket video that I did with 17 bucket hacks, and one of them was a lead bucket. And I really do got one. Now I'm gonna heat up the lead pot, start throwing my weight in there. Tire weights work really good, and you can find them about any scrap yard. The tire places sell them to make a little extra money. If you got some old sinkers or something that you ain't never gonna use, you can reuse sinkers. Recycle, man. Or you can use lead sheets. This come off of a roof. I don't know, it was something. But it's just lead sheet. Then we'll just wait for it to turn to liquid. Alright, I got my mold set up and got it ready. I usually keep a little piece of aluminum when I'm doing it. And get you an old spoon to scrape the trash off the top, because as the lead melts, all the trash will come up to the top. Then you can just take your spoon, scrape it off, and throw it on here. One other thing about lead, I'm fixing to put my respirator on because lead puts off fumes. So before you pour, put on a respirator. Make sure you got a fan running or you got good ventilation because you don't want to hurt yourself doing this. It's true, lead can be harmful when you work with it. But I do have a lead safety video that shows you all the PPE that you'll need to work with lead. And if you hadn't seen it, I'll show it again. If you're gonna melt lead, make sure you got your safety glasses. Put your respirator on.
Get you a face shield. Put you some kind of coat on to keep you safe. And you're gonna need some gloves. And you're gonna need a whale jacket.
Be safe, people. I'm just saying. Alright, this thing cooled down. I poured it. You see what I mean by I held the little ring where it needs to be. Now you can just slide your pin out and hopefully this thing comes out easy. It took a little convincing, but it came out. That's pretty dang cool right there. Here's a pyramid weight beside of it. You did this right here. There ain't nobody gonna have no sinkers like you got. I kinda like that. It actually didn't turn out bad at all. And it's about the same as a 3-ounce sinker. I'll check the weight of it and see. Okay, I got my scales out. I got a pyramid weight here. It says it's a 3-ounce. We're gonna check it. It's 2.95 ounces, so it's pretty close. Here's the one we made with our aluminum mold. It's 3.05 ounces. So it's pretty close to a 3-ounce pyramid weight. And it's original and it looks freaking awesome. But you got different size bits that you could use to do the same thing to make smaller or bigger weights. If you wanted to make this more than 3 ounces, this is 1.5 inches thick. Just get you a thicker block. I know some of you guys are gonna try this with wood, so I am too. I'm curious to see if it'll work. So now I'm gonna do it with a wood block. Got our wood block ready. We're gonna hang a little clip in it and we're gonna pour it. I drilled the hole a little bit deeper, so this weight should come out a little bit bigger. But remember I told you that you gotta heat up your mold so it pours smooth. Well, we can't really heat up a wood mold, so it might come out a little bit rougher and not be quite as smooth as this one. But that's why we're trying it, so we can find out. Now something I noticed right off, this one's not cooling off as fast as the aluminum because the aluminum's pulling the heat out faster than the wood can. It didn't dry as fast, which was good because if you noticed, I knocked my pin up and I had time to fix it, so it's kind of a good thing. Now I'm gonna take some pliers and I'm gonna pull it up out of there. I'll use these. Come out pretty easy, not too bad. Still a little warm. Wasn't too hard to take out, and it didn't turn out bad. You can tell the difference in the one that was poured into aluminum and the one that's poured into wood because the wood's not as clean, but sinkers don't have to be clean. They're sinkers. And you can see it burnt the wood on the inside. So you're not going to be able to use this mold nearly as many times as you'll be able to use this mold. I am curious about, as you use it, is the texture on the sinker going to get worse or better because it's getting burnt? That texture right there, I don't know. You have to find out. Here's the one we made with the wood mold. It's a good bit bigger. I don't know what it weighs. It's 7.4 ounces, so it's nearly 7.5 ounces. That would work good for you guys that fish rivers and stuff. I mean, That's a big old weight. I'm just curious how much heat this silicone will take. I know there's high heat silicones. I'm just curious how much heat regular silicone can withstand. This is a lure mold I made on another video. I'm just curious what all you can do with this stuff, so I'm gonna try to pour a lead lure mold just cause it sounds fun. So when we're done, at the end of the day, you got 2 different ways you can make your own pyramid sinker and a lead lure. Well, that pyramid sinker turned out pretty dang awesome. Both of them. Hey guys, if you like this video, click that like button. And if you're not subscribed, then what you waiting on? And remember to click the bell so you'll get notified when I post new videos, because that's important. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next build.